Everybody ready? We call the City of Vernon special meeting, the workshop to follow Monday, 5:30 p.m. Anderson, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here together today. We ask that you continue to guide the council and help them to make the best decisions for the community. Keep us all safe in our area and heal our country. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's a great way to start.
On the special meeting, we have one item. I need a motion to approve the air remote inspection at the plant for the CDBG, MT 135. Behind the agenda, you'll see the information that was sent to Jimmy on the cost of $5,000.
And once you have the motion, I can explain.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Discussion?
So that's what we approved, the $50,000 for the plant back a couple months ago. They finally got back up with Jimmy about it. Basically, they won't give us any kind of estimate without coming and doing a thorough, all the way through inspection. Now, this is kind of works in our favor, even though it's $5,000, because we're almost at release of funds on the grant money. The grant will have to go out for bid, and it will have to be specific, and if we don't know what we're asking for to repair and replace, we can't put the specifics in the bid. So we'll have to spend $5,000 to get that, but then the grant can pay the rest of it. And they're the only ones, they're the only ones that can even work on that, but it's still, because the state of Florida is still gonna have to go out for bid, and it's gonna have to be item specific. So I've already talked to Dale about it, I've talked to Fred about it. It's kind of the only thing we can do.
Like we have to do it, is that what you're saying? Basically.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. We'll close the special meeting and open up the workshop. Number one, Mr. Ronald Gibson on the cemetery survey. All right, Mr. Ronald.
Hey, Cody. What can I do for y'all?
I asked him to come because we didn't know what we're looking at.
Gotcha.
Well, I didn't know what, they probably did,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
You're being too nice. No. I understood what I was reading,
But not what I'm looking at.
yeah, I couldn't.
Well, some of it I can, but some of it I can't.
The additional parcels needed is what I think we all couldn't figure out.
Right, when I done the original survey, we found some encroachment onto the neighbors. You know, the drive comes out, there's some sprays and coating and everything to the south. And of course, Court Avenue, it's kind of like a gray area. There's not really any dedication to the city or anything. I think we might need to do a quiet title suit. I don't know. To attorney.
You mean it's like in there and it doesn't belong
Anyone,
to
yeah.
anyone?
I couldn't find any kind of title to it, and of course, you guys have been using it already.
We can take it. You might can do a quick claim deed or
So,
something.
what you're saying is we need to,
You need to take care of the problem, right, encroachments, and that's what I did with legal descriptions, to cover every encroachment.
that's parcel A, B, and C?
Yes.
Listed on here.
Yeah, A is for Fort Avenue, B is for Miss Fort Hicks to the south, and C is from Sumtree Ray.
C is what?
Sumtree Ray, Sumtree, and Moses.
Oh, that's
The little
this
corner, the
some
little
green
corner.
property and that, third word up to the cemetery.
You're right. Yeah, the road goes to their
And
property.
what did you say B was, I'm sorry?
It's for Cora Hicks.
And A was court.
Court Avenue, so it's be a plat title suit.
Michelle, do you have one of these?
No, that's what I was looking
Hang on, I got one. I got some of everything here, all the
Yeah.
extras. Sorry, I didn't put it on yours. This is the original, that's, hang on, that's the
for. Yeah, this is the
original.
one that I had seen.
This is that's the one you need.
Miss Cora Hicks owns like an L shape around the cemetery. So I don't know if you guys want to entertain buying her whole piece. Right there, butts up to the cemetery. It's kind of low area back in there. It falls off down into the swamp. So it's probably nominal cost. Just go ahead and buy her whole piece.
The Hicks property canvas is not the same as we were looking into before.
It is, that's when Joey was talking with him about it, that's the same piece of property.
Piece of property, and they were not.
And I think they, at that time, which I've not spoken with anyone, that's been several years ago, they have not made a decision on selling, if I remember that correctly from council meetings.
One of them did, one of them
Yeah,
One
it was-
did, and somebody else.
Do you remember?
Agree already. Ms. Michelle, what do we need to do?
So I will need to, do title work on the new, legal descriptions, and I need y'all to look at this, and you may need to have, Jason go out with Mr. Gibson and lay his eyes on this and make certain that this is enough land for you to do what you need to do to maintain the cemetery. 'Cause that was a question that I had when I drove out there myself, was there's a distinction between having the surveyor identify where we already occupy, but that's not the same question as whether that's actually enough land for us to properly maintain it going forward. So we could be looking at two different types of lawsuits. To the north, the street, that could be a quiet title, but otherwise it would be proceeding under eminent domain. Just for you have to have the parcel appraised, you have to make an offer to the property owner. If they accept it, great, we have a closing, they get a check, we get a deed, we move on. If not, then we move into a legal proceeding. My only concern is that parcel C, it just seemed like that was really tight quarters to run any kind of equipment.
Oh, would you get in there?
I mean, I drive an Expedition and it was tight getting around there just in my truck. I can't imagine grave digging equipment down there. That's a decision for y'all to make.
But the first thing we need to do is have Jason go out and
I think so.
Just let me know when.
Candace, can you set
Okay.
that? Anybody else have any questions or discussion on this? This time?
Appreciate it, man. Very much so.
What's that?
Appreciate it very
Yes, sir.
much.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for coming out tonight.
Appreciate it. And Candace will set that up. And it's convenient for.
Yeah.
both
for you.
of us. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Not this week. No, next week. I'm going out of town. I got done with something.
He's gonna take a break for a
I'm gonna
week.
take a break.
Well, enjoy your time off.
Thank y'all so much.
Number 2, update on the gym insurance plan.
So as y'all know, the gym was broken into, there was a lot of spray painting and damage to the, to contents and structure. That's 2 separate claims. We are still working on the content claim, but we received the check for the structure, actually received the check today. Y'all have all that information in your packet. What our hopes would be, Nikki had to go to, they're doing practices right now for All-Stars, but as much volunteers, she had already planned on having volunteers come this summer and work on painting and, you know, things like that. But, we'll have they can actually probably get a lot more done than they had originally thought. The floor will be the biggest thing, because spray paint on that gym floor. But, you know, they had already made plans to work on it, so, but we did receive the check this afternoon. That's not the content. All the basketballs were damaged. This new scoreboard, control panel that operates the scoreboards, was spray painted, so you can't read any of the information on it. Several smaller items, but those were the main things as far as content went.
All the damage.
Yeah.
Does anybody
And I
else?
think that price is down there at the
93.
bottom of it, after the deductible and everything. Oh, that was what I was gonna say, Dave. I was gonna open a separate account for that at the bank so that it would be easier to keep up with all the documents to send to the insurance company as the repairs are made, so that anything pertaining to that didn't get mixed in with the wreck money.
Does anybody else have anything on that? No, I'll move on to number 3, the update on payroll accounts.
I spoke with, I know y'all had asked me a couple times, so I did get to talk with Garrett, and, he said it would take him about a day, about a full day to transfer what needed to be transferred to a system for us. Of course, y'all would still need some type of CPA, like we have the attorney on retainer, you would still need some kind of retainer type situation or something with somebody, and they could do it by the hour or whoever you wanted to use. But there's still questions that I have to go back and forth with sometimes, you know, with the accountant. And they do work with our auditor as well, so I just thought I'd update on that.
Give you an update, how you feel about it.
I mean, I'm happy, I can do it, that's not an issue, but y'all are still gonna have, sometime you're still gonna have a bill. Maybe some months you don't, some months you do, I don't know, because, you know,
But this gives you better control and more knowledge about the finances. This is
I will
what-
have a lot better handle on it, yeah.
And this will have Jason's hours will be coming to her directly instead of waiting on us to get them, so we'll know.
Yeah, the
when-
outside workers information comes through City Hall as well.
Right.
It's the inside workers.
And she'll know every week, or every payroll, instead of having to wait a while to find out.
Well, and we discussed it before about, since Candace is gonna be doing it, paying her what we've been paying them, so I think if we're gonna use them, it's just my opinion, if we're gonna use them going forward, if we have to have one and they're already working with our auditor, although there have been some issues, we've talked about it.
We are currently working on audit right now. Josh is gonna be here tomorrow, maybe the next day. But I came on Saturday and pulled all the invoices and documents that he
Yeah.
needed. Cause he sent on Friday afternoon, so I came and just did it so he would have anything he needed, and of course he'll have access to whatever he needs. It's just easier for him to
I was
have it
talking
in
about on
hand.
the CPA side of things, but if we're gonna continue on with them in the capacity that you're talking about, I think we should have something set up in writing as to what we're gonna be paying them for time and that sort of thing.
I mean, there's some months, the only time, just for y'all to have a reference to go by, that we only talk on payroll day and that's it. But then there's some times where we have reports and things from the state and I have to, I'll email them and say, hey, we need to do this or that. And sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes, it could be an hour, whatever they're working on. And that I think they would probably do by the hour if that was the situation.
Get us a rate though.
Just, talk to them and put it on the agenda for our regular meeting. Is that agreeable?
Yeah.
Candace agrees. Anything else on that?
Not on that, sorry.
Do you have anything else?
I have a couple things, and one of the guys must be messaging me because this phone doesn't normally. Oh, that's somebody about the Traverse Drive issue. That was my next item.
So the judge granted our injunction in full, but the Schmidts apparently,
Don't care.
don't care.
Don't care.
So, the next step is based on affidavits of the neighbors, what they've observed, including having, the Schmidts and Sprinters come to, the neighbor's home looking for their rental. We'll be filing a motion for civil contempt, asking the judge to enter in order to show cause why the Schmidts shouldn't be held in contempt, asking the judge to, assess fines, attorney's fees, possibly incarceration for violations of his ruling. I don't know how quickly we can get into court on that, but that's the next step, that's where we are. I did attempt to communicate with their attorney and received no response at all, not even a go pound sand. Nothing.
We did, however, receive something from Ms. Smith over the weekend, a complaint that she filed. We discussed it before. It was against Mr. Musholt. I did reach out to him, and she did say that he was operating commercially by storing boats for boat trailers for customers on his property. Y'all know he works at a boat marina place, but from my understanding, I mean, he doesn't accept any money. He's not storing them he's getting paid to store them. It's things that he's working on. So he may bring their trailer and just leave it at his house while he's got the boat down there working on it in Panama City. So he's not getting paid to keep the boat trailer. I don't know anything about code, but just for reference. And he is on his way here. That was him on the thing to let us know he was coming.
You got anything you want to say about it?
I sent back some corrections on that affidavit. Those are ready, I'll sign.
I think I forwarded over, I'm not sure if they are or not.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish.
Okay.
You said he's on his way. Does anybody else have anything?
I had another couple of citizen issues. Someone that lives off of Pompey and Church, I laid it on y'all's desk, and she sent it this morning. She called maybe a year ago about speed bumps. We told her we couldn't do speed bumps. She called back last week We explained that the city does not do speed bumps. Of course, her wording might be a little different in the email, but, so her request was to have some stop signs put up because she's worried that they're gonna get run over trying to leave or go to and from their property.
Is that the one that's straight ahead?
It's up, you can't see the
I
house,
know,
it's back
yeah,
in the field.
it's back in there, yeah. But there's a driveway there,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
that's an extension on Pompey, isn't it? I don't know what that is. No,
It's
that's
a private driveway from, I believe.
It's off church.
Yes, ma'am. The driveway's private. I do understand their concerns, because people do go very fast on that road.
Where is she
Well,
want
she's
the stop
up-
sign? Like,
She wants it basically to be a three-way stop. So Ebenezer there's a little section called Lois Brock Road, and then you've got Church, and then you've got Pompey. And she thought maybe it would slow them down so she can come in and out of her driveway.
It would be hard, don't you think, to put a freeway there?
Michelle actually has some information on it.
So I would make any changes like that without an engineering review and a traffic study.
Because that's hard to make a freeway there.
Yeah.
I don't just run the stop sign.
Well, you could put a stop sign on Pompey and Church, you know, where they come out. But to go that other way, I don't know, that's.
Sometimes installing additional stop signs causes more problems.
Yeah.
There's one at Church, yeah.
Do you think they should do more of a study there?
I would do, yes, a traffic study and have an engineering firm look at it before you put up any additional stop signs.
I know Church Street is probably very busy, but Pompey, I don't see where that many cars is going up and down.
I don't see where we're just about spending the money.
I'm looking for an engineer. Not at this time.
I'm sure she'll call back tomorrow.
Does our driveway need cleaning out where she can see?
You know, I don't know, I haven't delivered mail down there in a long time, so I don't know if it does or not. But people do go pretty fast, but
Especially on Church, right there where Church and Ebenezer, right there.
I don't know what fast is, 'cause if, you know, on on that kind of road that's narrow like that, 35 seems like it's 80, you know, when it's really 35.
I don't know, we did.
The auditor's coming tomorrow, I'd already mentioned that, so we're gonna be on time. But that's the goal anyway, he's working on it. Garrett has been doing some things, with him on that. And then I pulled all the documents that he needed, over the weekend just to kind of get ahead of it, so he would have them. And then my last thing, which I know some of y'all know this and some of y'all don't, but, I'm not planning on going anywhere unless y'all send me home. But I've been working mostly remotely and odd hours, but, I did accept an offer to teach. But I would still like to, I don't want to abandon anybody, and I'd like to continue going if I can.
So you're gonna have two jobs.
I have two anyway.
Well, three once you start selling them oysters.
My hope is to not have to go to four markets on the weekends to send somebody. That's what I'd like to do. Hey.
I don't see an issue with it. You're doing it.
I'm working random hours anyway, I don't want to, I'm not asking for special anything, y'all know I love the city, so that's
And we love
why I'm
you.
here anyway, to be honest.
I don't have a problem with it at all.
So,
As long as you're not reading.
You heard.
I heard Miss Gwen, yeah. I mean, my only concern would be if y'all needed me and I couldn't answer the phone during, you know, time, which I could probably get a break to respond, but I might not be instant.
Well, that-
I'm not gonna be in a class, I'm gonna be going to classrooms working individually with
Same class, yeah.
people, so.
You're not in a classroom all the time. You're going to different
I'll
classes.
be going to different classrooms.
I don't see it being an issue. As long as you're okay with it.
Well, we can
I am, but
talk.
I want the council to be okay with
We
it.
need to see how, you know, get tired. and-
Michelle, you've said before that a lot of clerks are completely working remotely
Yes.
now.
And I have been for a couple months, so.
All my staff is remote, have been for years. I make good living, nobody complains, everybody's happy.
I don't have a problem.
I guess.
Nikki and Miss Carolyn both are happy with the hours. They both work part-time. They're happy with their hours and don't really want to increase their hours. But I mean, we've been making it work with me.
Yes, I
Well,
said.
since we
working
have them
remotely,
there
so-
now.
But I just wanna be open and upfront, so.
Well, those two can continue. Hoping somebody was there. And now both of them have been there now. To
Well,
know
she has the capability to
Yeah.
wherever she's at.
call.
Laptop to handle what she's been doing, who she's coming, she's been doing. No more discussion on that. Mr. Shaw, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right.
Close enough.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
That works for me. Do you have anything that you want to say? We've already kind of discussed, the attorney's already updated us on what's going on.
Okay, I was just gonna see what was happening, so,
Michelle,
I had drafted an affidavit for him, but I wasn't sure.
so
The facts.
the
exact.
way that was, and that's what I was in the process of trying to get redone, because as they were drafted, that wasn't accurate.
Okay.
And we dang sure don't wanna submit anything that's not accurate, so. But if you want, I'll get with you after the meeting and we'll get all the details for them.
if there's nothing else, Mr. Johnny, Panhandle Search and Rescue, has given us 2 sets of information the attorney has packet. And then you guys, you said,
The last one I gave you is just your own personal to go through to see what training search and rescue's got to go through to be able to stay on search and rescue. And all I'm here with the city for is, I talked to y'all one time before, is trying to see if you have a facility that we can hold a meeting in once a month. That's it. You know, we're not asking anything from the city, just a room we could use to hold meetings once a month. That's all we're asking of Vernon.
Do you know the date of the month and what time it would be?
Not at this point. I mean, we can work with y'all on that and set that up where it's convenient for everybody.
Would it be afternoon or morning?
Yes, it would be afternoon. So a lot of my people will be working and,
During the day.
yeah.
you were asking for basically a classroom.
Yeah, just anything that we could get, you know, maybe 25 people in for a quick meeting, nothing special, just talk over what we got going and what we're purchasing and what our plans are in the future. But to give y'all a little update now, what we're planning on doing, we get this up and rolling good, and we know it's gonna take a good year to get it rolling real good. But we wanna get involved in a lot of the children's sports programs. I know some kids that went to see about doing cheerleading this year. Well, it cost them almost $370-something for the uniform. A lot of parents can't pay that. I mean, they working parents, they just can't do it. We want to be able to help out with that. Eventually, within the next 2 years, we want to get to where we're doing 4 trade school scholarships in Washington County. And the way we are registered, we're not just a search and rescue, we're a public works search and rescue. Like the storms that went through at Esto and all, the fire departments, The city, they're only allowed to go in and clear the right of ways. We're allowed to go in and clean driveways and get to people and get them out for medical attention. There's a whole lot more we can do that they can't do. And that's what we're wanting to do, is work with all the entities within the county, make it easier on the fire department. When we got down trees all over the place, they can still go do what they got to do, and we can take care of some of them trees.
What's your screening process?
We go through a application, we check their references, they go through a background, they go through a drug screen, and they go through a physical. Now, our physical isn't as elaborate as the fire department and everything, because a lot of our people are going to be people our age, to be honest. You know, because young people, you can't get to do anything anymore. I mean, it's just the bottom line. But we want to put as much back into the community, because as it is, we know there's not a whole lot of search and rescue going on at this point. But Washington County's fixing to explode. We could have a lot of people moving in here. We are going to have it. So we're trying to get it up and going before the real need is needed, but be able to help the community at the same time. And we're running everything off of fundraisers, donations. We're not using any of the county's tax dollars or anything like that.
You're nonprofit.
Non-profit. We're a 501(c)(3). Anybody that's known me in this time knows I'm always doing something in my community. And I've been trying for 8 years to get search and rescue going, but finally going to get it.
He's right, Washington County's about to bust open on the south end, so
Yeah,
where we are.
One of the building inspectors told me that since January, there's been over 5,000 building permits issued in Washington County, and 85% of them are residential, and most of them in the south end of the county.
So we need to figure out, first of all, this is a donated room, is what is requested. Is there any issue with that? And that's leasing.
No, I would probably recommend once, I see you've got your organizational documents, but once you all have a better idea of what you would want them to do for the city of Vernon, following an emergency, you might want to enter into like a memorandum of understanding with them, and just to kind of lay out expectations, for the building, but also for what services they can provide to the city. And that just shows like the consideration for the
Right.
use versus charging the rent. That is a simple document.
The date and time is gonna come into play as well, because it's gonna be in this building and possibly after 5.
More than likely, or to be honest, it's probably gonna be like on a Saturday.
So that's, we have to take
Yeah.
into consideration too, because somebody will have to come and open up and come back and close up. Security system, so, I think Michelle Bright, if you get us a date, time, type, you
Okay.
said you want once a month.
Right.
All that we can, look at setting that up, finding, we need to look and see which one of the rooms would work.
And now later on, we'll have to find somewhere else, because our membership base is gonna get pretty good size.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to.
Because, like we're doing search and rescue, I'm part of the Gulf County Search and Rescue also. I've been with them for almost 15 years. And the last one we went in on, we was there 19 days. And a person can't stay out there 19 days straight. So you have some that not working, they're out there, others get off work, they come out, they relieve them, and it swaps back and forth with people. But then when you have your meetings and your little get-togethers every couple of months for, just have a big cook-off for everybody for appreciation, you end up with quite a few people around. But, you know, we do that kind of thing, we can do that in parks or whatever. You know, we just need somewhere we can hold an inside meeting where we can discuss particulars that don't need to be out in the open. And with our search and rescue, one aspect is cleared up, a lot of people worry about. If we're ever out on search and rescue, we never talk to the families, we never talk to the public or the news media. Everything that we get, we relate to the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department is responsible for relaying any of that. That keeps families or friends from hearing something and running telling family before family has been notified.
Yes, sir.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. And so everything will go through the sheriff's department as far as any information on any type of searches.
Candace, when's our next workshop?
Workshop, meeting or workshop?
Well, let me ask this, how long do you think it's gonna take you to figure out the date and time?
I can have it within a couple of days.
Okay, so we're gonna put this on the agenda for the next regular meeting.
And I appreciate you.
No problem. We appreciate you as well.
Some certainly we can use that someplace out here, especially when the storms go.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything? Everybody good? Can I have a motion to adjourn? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? We adjourn. Thank you all for coming.